Hello again, sports bettors. This is Jeff Makinen at DRF Sports. Today I'll be handicapping the Sunday afternoon NFC playoff matchup in the wild card round between the 11 and 5 Seattle Seahawks and the 9 and 7 Philadelphia Eagles. It'll take place at 4:40 p.m. Eastern Time in Philadelphia. Your DRF Sports subscription has you covered for the playoff season, including all the latest matchups and betting lines, the most accurate game simulator available anywhere, along with winning betting angles for this weekend and all the weekends through the Super Bowl. So log in at sports.drf.com today and let's start winning in this NFL playoff season. And we still have the rest of the bowl season, including the national championship game between Clemson and LSU. Looking at this game, the game opened up as a pick between Philadelphia and Seattle. The line has moved to Seattle -1.5 with an over under 45.5, and there is some interesting betting action which I will share with you later in this video. From the game simulator, estimate number one has Philadelphia winning the game outright 25-21. Estimate number two, 25-24 Philadelphia win. And the power line also gives you a Philadelphia 4-point win, Philadelphia hypothetical favorite of 4 points. So all three rating systems expecting the Eagles to pull the upset here in Philadelphia. If you compare the statistics of these two teams, you'll see a lot of the reason why the rating systems are so friendly here to Philadelphia. Despite the 11 and 5 record, Seattle is just outscoring their opponents by 0.4 points per game. So barely outscoring the opposition. In fact, they're outgained by 7 yards per game, total yards, 6 yards per play, 6.2 yards allowed. So not only are they outgained in the yards per play, they're also outgained in the yards per game. As you can see, just 25-25 average score, and they give up one more first down than they actually get during the course of your average game. Philadelphia outscoring their opponents 24-22, also outgained by the opposite, or also outgained in yards per play by the opposition, 5.4 to 5.7. In terms of yards per game, slightly outgaining their opponents 361 to 332. Seattle has two key edges here. They are plus 12 in the turnover differential versus Philadelphia's -3. Schedule strength a little harder in that NFC Western division for Seattle, 21.7 as opposed to the 18.8 of the somewhat weaker NFC East division this year. Taking a look at the betting angles for this game, one system that appears here, bet on home teams, a marginal winning team playing a winning team in the second half of the season. So later in the season, simple system here, marginal winning team, which of course at 9 and 7 Philadelphia qualifies against another winning team. If you bet on the home team, you'd be 188 and 127, so roughly 60% of your wagers over the course of the last, so dating back to 1983 actually. Another interesting fact that I noticed this week is, as you can see, Seattle is a 1.5 point favorite here in the playoff game, and that is actually a relatively rare occurrence. It's happened 19 times in the wild card round since 1983. And in those games, the home underdog has covered 11, the road team has covered 6, and there have been 2 pushes. So a little bit of an advantage there to the home team in terms of history. A couple of trends here that do favor the over. Pete Carroll is 29 and 11 over versus good offensive teams, which we qualified as averaging 350 or more yards per game offensively in the second half of the season as coach of the Seahawks. Also, Seattle is 6-0 over versus teams averaging 24 or more points a game in the second half of the season over the last 2 seasons. The average score there, pretty hefty 30-28 Seahawks victory. I had mentioned before the betting action, taking a look at the percentages here, 90% of the action favors Seattle, so quite a bit of public action, I would imagine, here going on the Seahawks, pushing the line from a pick to -1.5. 89% favors the under in the game. The total has come down slightly from 46 to 45.5. These two teams did meet earlier in the season, Seattle defeated Philadelphia 17-9 on the road. In that game, Philadelphia committed 5 turnovers, which was really the primary reason they were defeated there in that game. Overall, the Seahawks are 5-0 in Philadelphia, dating back to 1992, and 9-4 overall against the Eagles in either location back to 92. Looking at the team's schedules, a little bit of the case of teams going in the opposite direction here. Philadelphia did capture the NFC East title with 4 consecutive victories, including 3 consecutive covers to end the season over division rivals Washington, Dallas, and the Giants. Prior to that, it was a win over the Giants at home. So 4 straight NFC East victories. Seattle versus the NFC West faded to the point of 3 losses in their last 4 games. They did not cover any of their last 4 games with 1 push mixed in with 3 ATS losses. And of course, they lost the heartbreaker at home to San Francisco, which cost them the division 26-21 when they fell basically 6 inches short of the game-winning score in the last seconds of the ball game. Because of that emotion and the history of the home dog in the playoffs and some value edges here in terms of the game simulator and power ratings, I'm going to side with Philadelphia here. I think Seattle might be playing out with a little bit of a half empty tank. They've really run into some injury issues of late and a lot of emotion probably left on the field in that game against the 49ers. So I look for the Eagles to win this game on Sunday, plus the 1.5 points. Thanks again for watching. This is Jeff Makinen at DRF Sports, Twitter handle @SportsDBExpert. Best of luck this Sunday afternoon.